Did you know there's a cancer that 5 years after diagnosis still claims 87 out of every 100 patients? Yeah, 87. And yet, it almost never makes the evening news. That silent killer is pancreatic cancer. And today, we're going to unpack why it keeps slipping through the cracks and what scientists now call its playbook. Here's the thing. On paper, we should be winning this battle. We can sequence the tumor's DNA, light it up on ultra-sharp scans, and hammer it with drug cocktails strong enough to melt other cancers. But with pancreas tumors, those tools feel clumsy, like trying to fix a cracked phone screen with a hammer and duct tape. Lots of effort, not much precision. So researchers hit pause. Instead of testing yet another single drug, they asked, what if we map everything this cancer does to stay one step ahead? That question led to the Trinity Review, a giant mashup of genetics, surgery notes, and clinical trials that lays out the tumor's entire survival strategy. First stop, how the trouble starts. Tiny cell clusters can lurk in the pancreas for years. While they're hiding, they remodel the neighborhood, making tissue stiffer, recruiting helper cells, and rerouting blood flow. By the time a doctor spots anything odd on a scan, the whole block has already been renovated to protect the bad guys. Think of it less as one rogue building and more like a slow, misguided city project that's now baked into the blueprints. Second, why the early warning lights are so dim. The cancer buys time with vague signals. Backaches after long desk days, pants suddenly looser, mild indigestion that fades. None of those scream ER visit, right? And most patients are older or have gallstones, diabetes, or arthritis. Perfect excuses for exactly those symptoms. When alarms finally blare, the disease has usually broken past the pancreas. Third, the genetics game. Instead of one master switch, scientists see a rolling series of mutations. KRAS often shows up early. Other genes jump in later, like fresh players joining a winning team. That staggered entry means different parts of the same tumor are wired differently at any moment. So when chemo wipes out the easy targets, tougher sections survive and expand, like weeds with deeper roots after the first round of weed killer. Let that sink in. Fourth, the fortress around the tumor. The surrounding tissue, the stroma, is so dense it can block drugs and immune cells. Break it down too aggressively, though, and the disease can turn even nastier. Picture traffic rules. Annoying, yes, but remove every stoplight and chaos follows. Same idea. All these layers explain why single-target fixes keep failing. Hit one mutation, others pick up the slack. Soften all the tissue, the cancer slips through the gaps. Supercharge the immune system, healthy organs may take collateral damage. The Trinity authors argue for combos that are timed and layered. Catch risk earlier, tweak the environment without wrecking it, and use drug plans that predict genetic pivots instead of scrambling after resistance appears. So what could earlier actually look like? Picture running a city's traffic cam network, not waiting for bridges to collapse. You watch subtle shifts. New onset diabetes in someone who's never struggled with blood sugar. Unexplained pancreatitis. Indigestion ramping up fast in a long-time smoker. Alone, each clue is a shrug. Together, they justify sending in special forces, high-resolution MRI, endoscopic ultrasound, or blood tests that go beyond the usual CA19-9 marker. Future city sensors might track tiny fragments of tumor DNA floating in blood, spot quirky immune signatures, or let AI flag risky combos in electronic charts, often before a human would notice. Treatment, meanwhile, becomes choreography, not a single knockout punch. Picture rotating drug combinations, pulsed immunotherapy, focused radiotherapy. The goal isn't to flatten the tumor in one swing, it's to keep shrinking its escape routes until it runs out of moves. Step back and you'll notice the bigger shift. From crisis, response, to quiet course correction years earlier. Regular checkups could layer in richer data, metabolic trends, immune patterns, even digestion stress tests. Tack on lifestyle tweaks, better weight control, tighter diabetes management, quitting smoking, and you're turning down the tumor's thermostat long before it heats up. That future isn't sci-fi, The groundwork is being laid right now. So here's what we covered today. 1. Pancreatic cancer still has a brutal 13% 5-year survival rate because it grows quietly, remodels its surroundings, and evolves genetically in waves. 2. The Trinity review maps that whole playbook: early neighborhood remodeling, vague symptoms, staggered mutations, and a defensive tissue fortress. 3. Single target fixes flop because the disease uses multiple escape hatches. Success will likely come from earlier detection plus layered, time-phased treatments. 4. New city sensors, from blood-borne DNA fragments to AI pattern spotting, could flag high-risk people years before a scan ever looks suspicious. 5. Finally, small personal moves, watching for sudden diabetes, managing weight, kicking cigarettes, can start closing the door on this cancer right now. Empowerment moment. Pull out your phone today and jot down 3 things. The symptoms you'd flag if they popped up tomorrow. The one risk factor you can tackle this month. The exact phrase you'll use to start a gentle conversation with a loved one who might be at risk. Knowledge is leverage. Use this playbook, share it, and let's push that 13% survival number up, starting with the next conversation you have after this episode. Until next time, take care of yourself and your pancreas.